For centuries, humanity has grappled with one of life's most profound questions. Can we truly live a meaningful, ethical, and fulfilling existence without the concept of a divine creator? Many societies and countless individuals across history and in the modern world demonstrably prove that the answer is a resounding yes. Let's dive deep into why belief in God is not a prerequisite for a thriving life, exploring the human origins of mythologies, the paradoxes of faith, and the undeniable success of secular societies. Religious mythologies are human creations. Throughout human history, people have tried to understand the world around them by creating stories and myths that explain natural phenomena, life, death, and existence itself. These mythologies, such as those involving Amun-Ra and Anubis from ancient Egypt, Odin from Norse legends, Zeus from Greek mythology, and Quetzalcoatl from Mesoamerican cultures, are products of human imagination shaped by cultural, social, and psychological needs. Each distinct societal and cultural environment gave birth to its own specific deities and narratives, reflecting their unique experiences and perspectives on the cosmos. For example, Amun-Ra was the Egyptian sun god, symbolizing life and light, reflecting how ancient Egyptians revered the sun as the ultimate source of all existence. Anubis, the god associated with death and mummification, embodied their profound beliefs and deep-seated fears surrounding the afterlife, guiding souls through the intricate journey of the underworld. Similarly, Odin, in Norse mythology, was intricately associated with wisdom, war, and the pursuit of knowledge, reflecting the values and challenges of the Viking Age and the fierce spirit of its people. These deities were not merely powerful symbols, but profoundly influenced every aspect of their followers' lives, becoming integral to their spiritual and social fabric through elaborate worship and rituals. These gods and goddesses were not real entities, but powerful symbolic representations created to help societies understand and cope with the immense mysteries of the world. Their worship, the narratives attributed to them, and the rituals performed in their honor provided people with a unified worldview and a distinct cultural identity. With the advent of rigorous scientific inquiry and meticulous archaeological research, there is no empirical evidence supporting the literal existence of these gods. Instead, they remain integral parts of cultural mythology and the rich tapestry of collective human storytelling. The double standard among believers. One striking paradox among religious followers is their readiness to dismiss other religions' gods as false myths, while simultaneously accepting their own religious beliefs without question. This glaring inconsistency stems from ingrained cognitive biases and profound social conditioning. It's a complex process where individuals often refrain from questioning their own beliefs because they provide a deep sense of personal identity and spiritual solace. Every religion bases its system on supernatural claims, miracles, divine interventions, sacred texts that notoriously lack empirical evidence but depend heavily on faith and tradition. Yet, adherents easily reject rival religious systems as baseless superstition or outright falsehood. This isn't unique to one religion. Virtually every faith exhibits this tendency to view itself as the one true and correct path. This double standard profoundly reflects a natural human tendency known as confirmation bias, where people selectively accept information that reinforces their existing beliefs and staunchly reject any opposing evidence. It's also a powerful psychological comfort. Maintaining faith provides a crucial sense of meaning, identity, and community, making it incredibly difficult for individuals to critically evaluate their own deeply held beliefs. To challenge one's faith can feel like dismantling a core part of their very identity. Atheism and secular societies thrive without belief in God. In the modern era, many developed, free, and educated societies unequivocally demonstrate that people can and do live fulfilling, ethical, and happy lives without belief in any deity. Countries like Sweden, Norway, Japan, and Canada show notably high levels of atheism or secularism among their populations. These nations are frequently ranked among the world's most prosperous, peaceful, and innovative societies, challenging conventional wisdom about the necessity of religious belief. These societies fundamentally base their values on comprehensive education, rigorous scientific understanding, profound empathy, and universal human rights, rather than on rigid religious commandments. They place paramount emphasis on individual freedom, rational critical thinking, and ethics grounded in human welfare and shared societal good, rather than divine authority. Individuals in these societies often find deep meaning and purpose through intellectual pursuits, artistic endeavors, and active participation in community life. Scientific progress and secular philosophies provide robust frameworks for understanding the universe, morality, and purpose in a constantly evolving world. People in these societies find profound meaning through enriching relationships, significant achievements, creative expression, and dedicated service to others. For them, the purpose of life isn't merely confined to the temporal world, but extends to fostering individual self-improvement and contributing to collective human advancement. Indifference towards religious fiction. Those who are not indoctrinated or deeply immersed in religious culture tend to view all religious claims as culturally significant stories rather than absolute truths. This widespread indifference is a rational stance based on critical thinking and empirical evidence. Such individuals maintain an open mind and approach everything with a questioning perspective, rather than accepting it blindly. For these individuals, religious narratives are seen as historical artifacts or mythological tales, entirely devoid of the supernatural elements that believers readily accept as fact. This neutral viewpoint allows them to engage with religion as a complex social and psychological phenomenon, without subscribing to its dogmas. They approach it as an intriguing aspect of history, culture, and human thought, rather than a divine revelation. This detachment promotes significant intellectual freedom and emotional well-being, as these individuals are not bound by supernatural fears, guilt, or rigid rituals. Instead, they rely on reason, logic, and lived experience to navigate the complexities of life. They make their own decisions, define their own ethical values, and live their lives according to their own principles. Declining influence of religion in developed societies. In many developed nations, religious adherence and influence are steadily declining. Younger generations are significantly less likely to identify with traditional religions and are increasingly inclined towards secularism, atheism, or agnosticism. This trend is particularly evident in countries with high literacy rates and widespread access to diverse perspectives. This shift is happening gradually, yet its effects are now clearly visible across various societal indicators. This trend is driven by higher literacy rates, widespread and instant access to information, robust scientific education, and social freedoms that actively encourage questioning and open dialogue. Mass media and the internet have also exposed people to a vast array of diverse ideas, fundamentally weakening the long-held monopoly of any single religious narrative. Today's younger generation questions everything and is less inclined to accept beliefs without rigorous scrutiny. Religious institutions, once immensely powerful social and political entities, are steadily losing their grip on society. This decline forces them to adapt to changing societal landscapes or risk becoming entirely irrelevant. Many religious organizations are now exploring new strategies, such as utilizing social media, to engage younger generations, but their overall influence continues to wane. Oppression of atheism in totalitarian religious regimes. While secularism continues to rise in the developed world, many authoritarian regimes with fundamentalist religious foundations actively persecute atheists, secularists, and dissenters. In these states, freedom of belief is severely restricted, and rejecting the state religion can lead to imprisonment, torture, or even worse consequences. This isn't merely governmental whims. It's often enshrined in religious laws that directly punish individuals for their beliefs. Countries with strict religious laws criminalize apostasy, renouncing one's religion, blasphemy, insulting religious figures or beliefs, and non-belief, effectively denying citizens fundamental human rights. This chillingly mirrors past eras, such as Europe's Dark Ages, when heresy and disbelief were punishable offenses, often by death. Such laws strip individuals of their freedom of thought and conscience. Such severe oppression starkly highlights the ongoing conflict between authoritarianism, often disguised under the cloak of religion, and the universal human right to freedom of thought and conscience. It clearly demonstrates how religion, when fused with political power, can become incredibly destructive and suppress human liberties to an alarming degree. Historical context. Religion and suppression of freedom. History reveals numerous instances where religious authorities relentlessly suppressed rational inquiry, scientific progress, and democratic ideals. During the Middle Ages in Europe, the Catholic Church wielded enormous power, often persecuting scientists, philosophers, and reformers who dared to challenge its established orthodoxy. Figures like Galileo Galilei and Giordano Bruno stand as stark examples of individuals who faced severe hardship, imprisonment, or even execution for daring to dissent from church doctrines. Events like the brutal Inquisition and the horrific witch hunts were terrifying tools used to maintain absolute religious control and ruthlessly quash any form of dissent. Scientific discoveries that contradicted prevailing religious dogma were frequently branded as heretical and swiftly censored. Those who held views differing from the Church's narrative were often subjected to severe punishment. Even today, in certain parts of the world, religious institutions actively resist reforms and freedoms that threaten their established authority. For example, in some countries, various religious sects and beliefs are banned, or women's rights are severely curtailed based on religious interpretations. This serves as undeniable proof that religious power can still act as a significant obstacle to human rights and fundamental freedoms. Living without God is not only possible but common. Today, countless individuals and societies live meaningful, ethical, and joyful lives without belief in any God or deity. Humanism, secular ethics, and scientific reasoning offer robust moral guidance that actively promotes kindness, justice, and overall well-being. These individuals derive their ethical frameworks from within themselves, rather than seeking direction from an external, supernatural power. Many atheists find profound purpose through creative endeavors, nurturing relationships, engaging in social activism, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. They derive immense happiness and fulfillment from the natural world and deep human connections. For them, the purpose of life extends beyond this existence to actively improving the world and helping others. Belief in God is ultimately a deeply personal choice, not a fundamental prerequisite for morality or happiness. The global trend toward secularism and atheism clearly demonstrates that life without divine belief is not only possible, but increasingly common and successful. This stands as a powerful testament to humanity's autonomy and its inherent trust in its own capabilities. Ultimately, the question of whether one can live without God isn't about proving or disproving divine existence, but rather about exploring the vast landscape of human potential and societal organization. As we've seen, meaning, morality, and happiness are not exclusive to religious belief, but are deeply human constructs forged through reason, empathy, and collective effort. What do you think are the most important pillars of a fulfilling life, regardless of one's spiritual inclinations?